Our next speaker, the Honourable Anthony Molloy. I'm looking at you. He's looking around the room from the City of Henderson Economic Development. He's actually Director of Redevelopment and Economic Development and Tourism. And I get corrected every time I put his name on a flyer because they say, can you please make sure you put his complete title on there? So everybody welcome Anthony Molloy from City of Henderson Economic Development. They are our biggest sponsor. They really help us make these events on. I'll get you set up.
So, thanks, Lorraine, for having me. And what I would like to first make clear is that I am not the one that asks for my title to be made clear.
No, not you. No.
That is other people that do that. I remember Brandon. Is Brandon still here? Brandon made the comment that, kids may find themselves in a position where they need help sometimes in their lives. Well, I'm an adult and I find myself in need of help sometimes as well. So, how many of you are small business owners or work for a small business? A lot of you. That's great. Let me put this up here. That'll help free up my hands a bit. So that's great. So this next set of questions should be really easy for you to answer. How many of you have heard of a company called Le Mirage Gifts and Collectibles?
No.
Nobody? It's a small business in Henderson. How about a company called Hallmark or Walmart?
Yeah.
Who's heard of those companies?
Yeah.
A few of you. How about Queen of Hearts? Have you heard of a company called Queen of Hearts? A couple of you, that's great. What about McDonald's? Yeah? What about Felicia's House of Beauty? Really close to where we are right now. Another small business in Henderson. Great Clips?
Yes.
A lot of you? So something that may be a misconception is that the City of Henderson Economic Development Department is only here to help big business. And it's true, we celebrate when big business comes to Henderson. Haas is an example of that. We celebrate that they're making a huge investment in our community. That company is close to finishing a 2.5 million square foot facility in West Henderson. Have you heard of Haas?
Yes.
So Haas is really unique because they are an advanced manufacturing company. They have high-paying jobs. They're going to eventually have 2,000 jobs at the center in Henderson. And they are a company that builds machines that builds machines. So they're a really niche business. And we're really happy that they're going to be opening in Henderson in January next year, and it will initially create 1,000 jobs. That's something to celebrate, right? It's something that gets the headlines. When the Google Data Center came to Henderson, it was a huge win because everybody knows who Google is, right? Is anybody here they don't know who Google is? Google it, exactly. Or Bing, depending on, if you fall into that. So, but the reality is, and everybody that's involved in economic development, we know that 80% of all jobs in America are created through small business. All right, so it's great when Haas comes in. We definitely want to celebrate them because they have a huge impact, right? 1,000 jobs to start with in one company. But if we looked and kept account of all of the jobs that are created by the small businesses that are opening in Henderson each year, that all of you have opened, that are happening in Southern Nevada, in the entire Southwest, I would venture to guess that it far exceeds the number of jobs that are being created by big business. And that's a trend that's existed for decades, and I don't see that changing because people that live in America have an entrepreneurial spirit. I can tell you countless stories of people that I have worked with in the 30 years that I've been involved in local government who have worked for a company and they've been happy, but they've always had a dream that one day they're going to own their own business. That they're not going to have to call the boss and say, hey, I'm not feeling well today. Is it okay if I stay home? Because they want to be the boss. They want to decide when they're open. They want to determine what the culture is at their business. They want to set the tone for how they treat their customers. So let's say that I've been working in a company for 25 years on the Strip, as an example. And that whole time I've been putting a little bit of money away every month, thinking one day when I can retire and it's safe because I have some kind of a pension fund that's going to provide me with a comfortable living, I'm going to open that business that I've always wanted to have. Might be a beauty salon. Maybe it's Felicia's House of Beauty. Or maybe it's Queen of Hearts. Or maybe it's a day spa. And these are all real examples of people that have opened businesses that I've worked with. But just like the kids who might go to Brandon's The Lemonade Stand project, they need help. So where do they go? Where do they go to find the answers out? Where is it that I can have that kind of a business? Can I just run it from my house? Are there any restrictions? Do I have to get a business license? Can it be a home occupation, or do I have to actually be in a sticks and brick location that's in a specific zone? So for those of you who have small businesses already, just by a show of hands, are there any of these questions that you asked yourself as you went on that journey? Where can I have my business? Should I enter into this lease? Yeah. So that's where economic development comes in. So sure, we will help the big businesses, but we're also there for each one of you to help you fulfill the dream that you have of one day having the business. Or maybe it's that you're well capitalized, or you're an inventor and you've come up with some brilliant new gaming program that has just escalated, and you have, people that are wanting to give you money to launch your business, but you still don't know, where is it that I can have the business? How do I go about registering my business with the state? Where can I get access to technical assistance? Those are the things that the staff in economic development, we're here to help you to be able to find and maneuver that process, because it can be very complex. It can be very complicated finding the right location. Does the zoning allow for that? And as a small business owner, you don't know where all of that information may live. I guarantee you that you'll eventually find it, but we're here to help streamline that process. So Henderson is Nevada's second largest city, and this is just recently updated demographic information that we put together. We're almost at 370,000 people in the city of Henderson. We still say that we're a place to call home. We had that small home, that small town feeling because of events like this, right, where we're able to get together. And 2 months ago, our mayor was here at the meeting, and she was presenting, and people that were at the event had the opportunity to go up and talk to her, and she's very approachable. You can call the City Hall and say, I want to speak to my council member, and you will have that opportunity. And that does not exist in every community, whether it's big or small, in this country. And I've worked in several states in my career, and I can tell you that Henderson is a unique place where you will have access to the resources that you need, and you will have the support. In addition to the efforts of economic development, as Lorraine mentioned, I also oversee redevelopment. That's a passion that I have. So I've worked at the city for over 18 years. Most of that time was with the redevelopment agency, and we have 5 really great redevelopment areas. And you may ask yourself, what is a redevelopment area? Well, a redevelopment area is historically a physical place that has faced barriers that have prevented private investment from taking place. So right where we're located, the downtown redevelopment area, that is one of our priority locations. And we devote resources, we create incentive programs to help businesses open here, to help them stabilize, and we have seen the success of those efforts. So, 20 years ago when I came to work for Henderson, downtown Henderson did not look like it does today. And it's through our focus on removing the barriers to investment that it is what it is today, and we continue with that effort. This is some more demographic information on Henderson. I won't go through each one of these because I do have a limit. And then we do have national recognition. And it's very interesting that between 2020 and 2023, almost half of all new residents that came to Southern Nevada came from California. This is our Clark County population, 2,265,000. When I came to work in Southern Nevada, my first place of employment was Clark County. And I remember the demographer at the time saying, when do you think that we're going to hit 1 million people in Clark County? That was 20 years ago. And now we're at 2.265 million. Amazing growth. So as I mentioned, we support private sector job creation. And how we do that is through outreach events like this to make sure that the public is aware of the programs that we have, to let them know that we are accessible, that we are here to answer questions. And depending on where you're located, if you're in a redevelopment area, for example, like the ones like downtown, along Boulder Highway, and where the Reimagine Boulder Highway project is located, we are here to help you with additional resources that are made available directly through the redevelopment agency. And I don't know, maybe they cut me off and that's the end of my time. Oh, okay, here we are. So opening a business is very complex, as I mentioned. And these are some of the tools that we can help provide to you as a small business owner, as an entrepreneur. Something that we are really happy about is that this year we're hosting the third cohort of a small group of 10 businesses that we are paying the cost for them to go through a 6-month intensive small business training program with CSN. So each of those businesses will be given access to tools, they'll be given training opportunities, and we provide the funding that covers that cost. And like I said, this will be our third cohort group that goes through that program. It is not an inexpensive venture for us, but we think it's one that's very valuable. We will track the results of that, but typically speaking, companies that receive assistance from the city in the sense of access to additional technical training and grant programs have a tendency to be in business longer than the average business, because many small businesses open each year and a large number do not stay after 5 years. And our goal is to make sure that they are successful, and we do everything that we can to help them in that process. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. Doug and I are here from the city. I'm at the table here at the front. Lorraine has our contact information. I believe that I'm up to date on the portal. I don't want to not be up to date because I don't know what might happen. But if I'm not, I'm going to make sure I am by the end of day tomorrow. So if you want to reach out to me through the Rolodex on there, you can as well. So yeah, people can email me directly. That's my email address. You can also reach out to us through a platform called Contact Henderson. It's available on the City of Henderson app. It's also available on our website. You can call me. You can call me as well. You can find my number online. I can give it to you, but I doubt that you all have pens ready and waiting for me to give you my number to reach out to me. But let me assure you that we're here to help.
So the fact is, and the reason why I wanted to have Anthony here today is because you guys probably don't know that the City of Henderson has all of these resources, okay? Now you have a face and a name to City of Henderson Economic Development. Anthony and Doug are both with the City of Henderson Economic Development. So these are people that you can reach out to, connect with, ask questions, and see how they might be able to help you, where they can point you in the direction of maybe some of the grant resources that Anthony was talking about, or other resources. It doesn't have to be just from the City of Henderson. They do lots of things for the community. So please give Anthony a round of applause again. Thank you so much, Anthony Molloy.